Hi everyone, today is the 29th of August, and as always, we're going to tell the pain story. This pain story has changed a lot of people's life and shed light into what something happened to our life and how we can create and manifest our dream life, okay? But before the pain story, I'm gonna tell you something about Hanoi City today, okay? Actually today the weather is pretty nice. It was rainy in the morning, and something I learned about living in Hanoi after living in Hanoi City about almost 3 years is that when you see the sky suddenly got very dark, everything outside got very dark, it means that there will be pouring rain. And that pouring rain can, can be really fast. Like this morning is only a couple of minutes. No, not a couple of minutes, like 10, 15 minutes, and then that. And now it's really bright outside. But it can also last for a very long time. So depending on the amount of rain that they have, but then one thing, if you see, if you somehow walk into Hanoi City, walk on in Hanoi City, and then you suddenly see the sky, the everything got very dark, making sure that you have some shelter or going somewhere, because most of the time, in a couple minutes, the pouring rain gonna come. So that's some tip for if you travel to the Hanoi City, okay? And now we're gonna go into the page story. What is this? It's a pen. What do we use a pen for? To write. Now there is a dog inside the room. I'm gonna wait this in front of the dog. What does the dog do? The dog probably will simply guide you this way. Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct, the dog or the human? The answer is both are correct. For the dog, this one is a chewing toy, while for the human, this one is a pen to wait. The dog is correct in the dog one, the human is also correct in the human world. So that is our first lesson, both are correct. Now let's imagine that there is a table in front of me, so I'm going to put this thing on the table, and then both the dog and I will walk out the room. So inside the room, there'll be no human, no dog, because this thing become either still a pen or a chewing toy. How it becomes almost nothing, and the actual wisdom comes this one as the emptiness. The emptiness is actually a very magical definition. As we understand the emptiness, we'll be able to achieve anything in our life. Just like Ichi Michael Roche applied the emptiness into his business and was able to build business with revenue of $250 million a year. He's also able to help civil refugees. So what is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? So let's go back to the page story, okay? So this thing is currently on the table where there's no human, no dog, and nothing to interact with. It come back to choose some report on the emptiness, okay? Just like ourselves, when we are by ourselves with no one to interact with, nothing to interact with. So we come back to outer self. We also call that the emptiness. So what we truly are without interacting with anyone, anything, that is what we call the emptiness, and it's actually our very self. Okay, but because we have the because we always interact with everyone else. So with along with the emptiness, we have the potential to become anything or anyone, depending on who or what is looking at that at us. Okay. So for instance, I'm gonna explain that. What do I mean by that? By coming back to the pen story, okay? So this pen is currently in the room on the table in the room without no one, nothing to interact with, and this is almost nothing, and we call it the emptiness. But as soon as I go back into the room, I look at this becomes a pen. When the dog come back to the room and the dog look at this becomes a chewing toy. And when both the dog and I come back to the room at the very same time, and we both look at this thing at the very same time, what does this thing become? Or it becomes both a pen for me and a chewing toy for the dog. So that is what I mean by, the emptiness and the potential. So the second lesson that we have is along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. Now moving on to the third lesson. I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me or does this pen coming from the thing itself? This pen is actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if this thing is the pen is some the dog or anything in this entire universe, we have to see it for what it is, which is a pen. But does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. this pain is actually coming from our mind, and everything is actually coming from our mind. So that is our third lesson. Everything is actually coming from our mind. Now we all agree that this pain is actually coming from our mind, right? So I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna pray this will become a diamond. Okay, so please pray with me. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Open my eye. It's still a pen. So what in my mind that forced me to see this as a pen but not a diamond? They all see it inside our mind that the ancient wisdom calls us. Come on. When we see something, the sit inside our mind pop up, open up, and cover this, and made us see it for what had been planted earlier into our mind. So who planted those it into our mind then? Only you can plant the seed into your mind, and only I can plant the seed into my mind. How can we do it? We do it by three ways, by our word, by our action, by our thoughts, especially to other people. So for instance, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to say that I have a pen. Would you like to have this pen? And when my friend say yes, please, I'd be so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. So when I give this to my friend, this palm will open up and both me and my friend will see it and it's totally bug in my mind. A couple of days later, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the seed of the pen has already been planted into my mind. And now it popped up and opened up and covered this and made a seed for what had been planted only into our mind. And this is how a pen become a pen. Anything so loud has become what and who they are to us. In the page story, there are several meaningful lessons. Today we went over 4 different lessons, and all the lessons are actually connected to one another, build up one to another. So I will go into detail of that and then let you know what I mean by one build up on the next one build on. Okay. So first lesson is both are correct. So we learn to respect each other's opinion. We learn to listen to each other with a compassionate heart, right? But then in all that, we know that both are correct. So we are also correct, and the other person is also correct as well. We are correct, and the other person is also correct. So I would recommend before I always think that whatever that you do, you have to make sure that you master that first. So I'm making sure that you respect yourself first, you listen to yourself, you accept yourself for what you are. And when you're actually doing all that, like you respect yourself, you listen to yourself, then you naturally will understand yourself and and then you love yourself. And when you be capable to do all that, then that love will one day it's gonna be big enough for you to be able to start sharing that to everyone. And when you start listening to other people, you start respecting their opinion, understanding them. That is when you start building the love and the rapport with everyone surround you. And that is when the happiness gonna come to us all. And that's the reason they were saying that the first lesson is actually the key to all the happiness in all kind of relationship. Because in the end, in all kind of relationship, even with ourselves, we all long to be listened to be respected, and to be understood. So that is the first lesson. Moving on to the second lesson, which is along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. So trust your potential, trust the potential of everyone or everything surround you, and trust the potential of whatever happened to you. So with how I say that that one actually built on lesson one. So the reason is that once you be able to listen to yourself, understand yourself, respect your opinion, that is when you actually truly see what is your capability, or you accept your weakness, your strength, and all the things that who you truly are, which is the emptiness. And once you be able to do that, you also can see the potential of what you can do in your life. And that naturally, you're just gonna go up to that potential because we know our weakness, we know our strength, we accept it, we love ourselves for what we are, and we do all that moving toward with our capability, our best potential. And that, building on that, when you be able to see or do all that to yourself again, you'll be able to do it to other people. But one more time is that you just have to do it for yourself first. I keep stressing that. So for this part, you actually have to do yourself first before you can do to other people. Okay. And now we're gonna move on to the third lesson, which is everything is actually coming from the seed inside our mind. So we be 100% responsible to whatever happened to us, and we don't blame anyone because in the end, we are the only one who can plant the seed into our mind, and that is our third lesson. And this lesson is also building on lesson number one and lesson number two because due to the fact that we actually, we are this is that we take full responsibility of our life. We are capable of changing our life in any kind of direction that we would like it to be. So when you see the potential of yourself and of anything, so you have the capability to change it, and whether your life going to be your best dream or to be your worst dream is all up to you, and how that is up to your action, it's up to your thought, is up to your word, your speech to other people. So that is why your action, your word, and your action, your word, and your thought about others are very, very crucial. And then all that lesson go up to the fourth lesson is how we can create or manifest our dream life. But first, we have to know what we want to have in our dream life using lesson number two, the potential, the emptiness and the potential. And then, getting number three. Lesson number three, which is we stop planting those seeds using your word or action or thoughts with other people. So, for instance, we're gonna hold for instance, if you would like to have happiness, then you start helping other people to be happier using your work, your action, your thoughts to work other people. And then that is your way of planting the happiness seed into your mind. And then, just like that, if you want to have prosperity, then you plant the prosperity seed using your work, your action, your thoughts, your other people, helping other people getting more prosperous. And just like that, whatever that you do, you start doing all that. Okay, you start planting those seeds using your what your action, your thoughts. And the lesson that I would like to that is the fourth lesson. That was the fourth lesson that we in the pen story that I want to talk to you about. And the lesson that I would like to share with you all today is that um, I'm so I think that is this morning, actually, I was telling the pen story, early in the day and at home before going to work because I decided that, if I'm going to work and sometimes I be like just, really focused on work, because, and recently there's a lot of, we will have a lot of work to do. So I be focusing on work. And sometimes when I get home, I get too tired and I don't feel like I want to tell the pen story again. And then that I think just the thought that, oh, I'm so tired, I don't want to do it. And then I'm also fighting myself because the other part of me was telling that, okay, you have to do it because you already committed that you're gonna tell the pain story every day, at least during the weekday. So you have to do that. So and I like I think the fight actually strengthened my resilience. But to be honest, if I would be able to bypass that fight, if I would be able just to do it without have to fighting myself, that is something that I'm actually looking forward to more because I think that it's become a part of me. It's become something natural, and rather than just creating the habits again, right? So I think that is something. Once you have a good habit and then you lost it, then you have to rebuild the habit again. It's actually pretty challenging, and you just have to be very consistent. And then I thinking about different way for me so that I would come back to the habit of telling the pain story again and be more regular, more committed, and more mindful. So that's the lesson that I would like to share with you all today. And it's all about a journey of how we can get better. So sometimes we get worse, But then how we overcome that, I think that is a very good lesson for us to share and to learn from each other. So thank you Anu for accompanying me in this 3,000 day journey. Thank you everyone for listening to my pain story. And if by me share with you the pain story of my lesson is something good, I would like to dedicate that to my church family, to my friends, to my coworkers, to my clients, or to any living things in this world with, with love, wisdom, and gratitude. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.